Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We got a treat for you today. We're going to go over a little piece of kit. Point of view, you bought your first AR-15 or your 15th. No one is judging here. Relax. You're among friends. So you built up quite a few mags, say enough to have a full combat loadout. But you don't have a method to carry those bags aside from maybe a belt kit or just your pockets. It's hard to carry more than a few mags with either of those options. You also don't have tons of money to spend on this crazy name brand gear that all your favorite YouTubers are buying. And let's say your number's up, your ticket has been punched, and you're due for a recon patrol in the Appalachian forests or the vast deserts of the Arizona Bijan. You need a kit. You need something to carry these mags, maybe a little bit of sustainment. So what do? What do you reach for? The year was 1988. Ronald Reagan was still in office. Rain Man was the top box office hit. Another lesser known film ahead of its time called They Live was also released. Enter the IIFS, the Individual Integrated Fighting System, often referred to as the LBV88, to serve as a fighting in existence, food, first aid, etc., carrying system, a possible replacement for the Alice kit. This design is very similar to what the SEALs and other Spec Ops forces fielded during Vietnam up to the late 80s, and has even since inception been copied by various manufacturers. The main improvements of the LBV88 over traditional Alice kit were the ability to carry more ammunition, weight, and modularity. My first encounter with the LBV88, wow, you know what, take a shot every time I say LBV88, right? Let's go ahead and just keep a counter on that. Let me know in the comments what you think. So, my first encounter with the LBV88 was at a flea market in the year 2000. I stumbled across my current LBV88. I paid $40 for it. My family traveled around to different large flea markets all over the Southeast during this time to make income. So, me being the milsurp head that I am, I always looked around for airsoft and different and various military surplus gear. I love milsurp. Ever since I was a young boy and went into an old school Army Navy surplus store, I always looked at it as the gear of legends, and it just kind of stuck ever since then, ever since I was young. Then something that really drove up the hype of this rig was a little movie called Tears of the Sun. I went to see it in theaters. Hopefully that doesn't age me. It's one of my favorite modern military movies and pretty much covers a vast number of things for its genre. So if you haven't seen it, I highly, highly recommend you check it out. So the character of Kelly Lake, which is a pure badass, he was the point man. I mean, he's a favorite among most of the audience, and a lot of airsofters and different people like that try to replicate his kit. In the movie, he's a stoic, no messing around badass. The heart of his kit is the LBV88. But is this thing relevant for modern times and modern use? We're going to get into that. If you like the LBV88, military surplus gear, or just flat out expressing your Second Amendment rights, go and hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the setup. Let me start with the most obvious part of the LBV88 versus Alice kit. It comes in God's plaid. That's right, M81, or Woodland, as you fuds out there like to call it. Which it seems a lot of new Rage equipment is being produced in an M81 now. So now you'll have that Woodland drip. Another obvious difference is going to be the mag pouches. Note, this is not high-speed gear, but it's not so much high drag like your normal Alice 3 mag pouches. So long as you're using a platform that takes, you know, the Stenag or the USGI, are we even calling them that anymore? I don't know. Either way, the steel or aluminum 30 round 5.56 style mags. As long as you're using those, you're going to be able to fit 6 of them in the, what I'm going to call the chest portion of this rig. So the chest rig portion. And I also want to note that there are 2 different styles of the LBV88. You have what I'm wearing here, that this one's pictured, and then you're going to also see that there's some that go a little bit more horizontal. So the older style is going to be your vertical, you know, straight up and down, and then the new style, they're going to be kind of canted more to a horizontal chest rig portion. This is known as the enhanced LBV88. So it's going to be your later one. They both have the same NSN numbers, and I'm going to throw in the description more information about the LBV88. Like, you'll also notice more of the breathable mesh here that are around the mag pouches. They do that because the original was creating hot spots. So just want to note that as well. It's also going to be the more common version. So starting with the mag pouches, the 2 outer ones, top on the enhanced, are going to be a double mag that you see here that I'm pointing at. Those are going to hold double Stenag mags. And so the inner ones, or the bottom ones on the enhanced, they are going to only hold 1. And I want to note that it is possible on a well broken in vest, you may be able to get or stuff 6 PMags in, you know, the Magpul PMag 30s, but getting them out of there is going to be a chore. Like, especially if you don't have actual mag pulls to grab the bottoms and pull. And also note that your buttons, like, there is Velcro on them, but the buttons themselves are not going to snap with the PMags, just because the size of them is pretty different from just your standard USGI mags. So for a lot of you, this right here, you can kill it. That's going to serve the purpose of, you know, the ability to carry a combat load of ammo. Throw some loaded mags in there, and you're set for the zombie apocalypse, right? Wait, let me check my notes. Oh, we're on Civil War now. Well, in that case, 6 mags probably isn't going to get you through that. So here we are down range. Let's test out the kit and see how it does with weapons manipulations, like doing a little bit of shooting and reloads from the chest rig portion of the LBV88. Let's run it again. We're going to do 1R1s. So, going to bring it up, shoot 1, reload 1. So as you can see, it's not too bad reloading from here. So I had 1 at the beginning there, a little off. So marker guys, all center, running about 10 yards out.
Ready?
Not too bad. I'm gonna try drawing from this middle pocket here on this one. And mark that center one. So another 1R1. All right. Center one, no. Roll off on that one. Fastest one so far. Oh, out of ammo. It's gonna shoot so nice. One Charlie on that one. Not bad, not bad. Right, on this one we got staggered targets here, as we can see. Freaking bug. So I'm going to shoot one and then one, reload one in it. So if you want to pan over and get that, or yeah, just turn around. So I'm gonna get right here, one, reload one. So 3 shots total from about 10. That one's probably 12, so we'll get set up here. Moving to the bottom from the chest portion, there are the 2 controversial M67 frag pouches. Because of the unconstitutional NFA, free Americans can own an M67 frag. But I do find use with these pouches for holding, like, say, a compass, small signaling devices, your face paint, other like-size items like that. They put them at a convenient front of the hip area, though I wouldn't load them down with weight, as this tends to be the gripe of most people about this rig. If I had my way, they would be elsewhere on the rig, but you know, they're kind of permanently fixed, and it is what it is unless you really want to do some hacking on them. A lot of people complain about the bulkiness of the LBV for only holding 6 mags, and that's because they're not looking at it as a system as it was intended for. Here's what makes the LBV88 stand out from your other chest rigs and pretty much make it not a chest rig but a full system. You have the ability to attach an Alice pistol belt and other Alice accessories and carry a substantial loadout, and this is where the system will outshine others, including modern Molly kits. As much as I love Alice kit, it does have some faults, like the narrow harness system that digs into your shoulders anytime you carry more than 25 pounds with it. And this is why I recommend the LBV88 rig over it to the novice. The shoulder pads are just way more robust, and they have better padding and are designed to be worn in conjunction with a pack. Now also with Alice, you're going to have to know what you need sustainment and ammo wise, and have to set up your kit and your pouches in conjunction with the needs. Note, the same could be said for newer FLC Molly systems. You're going to have to know what you need and know how to set up your pouches. With Alice, all of your equipment and ammo included is going to be surrounding your waist. Plus you have to deal with those slower usage Alice, NATO style 3 mag pouches. And it's going to be a limiting factor having all that on your waist. So with LBV, your ammo is placed in the chest rig area, leaving space around your hips to be used for other items attached to your pistol belt and the back of the rig, or not having to carry as many pouches around your hips. That keeps your hips free and easier to move. A little better off, but I don't know what the heck that was. There. So 2 Charlies, 3 Alphas, 1 Delta. So, yeah. All right. Man, I really like this rifle. We're going to go over it and this optic setup at a later date. But I really, really like this 16-inch rifle on here, running the full-size boy. I like to think of the Alice and the LBV88 as a 3-day assault / recon rig, meaning support for up to 3 days and maybe a little beyond, if you're into suffering. This doesn't mean a 3-day camping trip, just 3 days of gathering intel with possible light, and I mean very light fighting, and a shit hit the fan situation. Due to time constraints and attention spans, or the lack thereof, we're not going to go over a 3-day rig today, but drop a comment down below if you want to see something like that. I like to set my belt up with 1 to 2 of the Alice 3 mag pouches to use as like a GP pouch, or to plus up my AR mags, just to maybe carry more. Are they high speed? Again, no, they are not. But when you plus up with 2 of these pouches and say you want to carry more mags, you're getting 9 to 10 mags on your rig. Now, I would call that a pretty good combat loadout if you're going, in an offensive role, or you're expecting some kind of trouble. Yeah, having that ability to plus up mags and then be handily accessible is pretty good. It's a little better than a plate carrier. You're not going to be lugging that much weight in all the wrong areas. These pouches can currently be had pretty cheap via online or mill stores. Expect to pay between $8 to $20 depending on the condition. Note, they also nicely hold a Baofeng UV5R radio that has the extended battery. In addition to the 3 mag pouches, you could also pick up a few of the larger saw pouches like I'm kind of running. You can kind of see on the opposite side, on my left-hand side there in front of the canteen. These are very awesome, although they're getting harder to find. They generally cost somewhere between $15 to $30, and they can hold up to 6 AR mags, and they serve as a great larger GP pouch. You can use it. And me personally, I use it here for just sustainment supplies, a little bit of food like a cut down MRE, some wipes, and even you can put some maps in there and it's going to hold them pretty well. But just be aware, they are getting harder to find. Next, we have one of the most important parts of the kit if you're going to be out and about for any longer period: water. You can make it quite some time without food, but water, you're looking at 2, maybe 3 days tops. Here in my AO in the southeast foothills, you're looking at barely making it 2 days in the summer just because of the sheer heat and jungle-like humidity. You're going to sweat out all your hydration. We have about 2 canteen cover pouches with 1-quart canteens. Expect to pay, depending on condition, around $8 to $25 for 1 canteen cover and 1 canteen. And like I said, it's going to go by condition. For me, this is bare minimum water to carry for 3 days. That's half a gallon. Have plans to replenish at some point on your patrol. Ideally would be to have a 2.5 to 3 liter water hydration bladder in addition to your double quart canteens. I've been looking at getting a Milsurp Army hydration pack and attaching it via mods to the back of the LBV88. If you got any links or anything like that that's been done this way, drop them in the comments. I'm actively looking at the comments, so definitely let me know. Another major component of this sustainment system is going to be the butt pack or the field pack. The LBV was designed to work in conjunction with the field or butt pack. You can pick these up all day long, usually between $20 to $45. They're worth the extra dollars just to carry that extra gear, like an small individual shelter, minimalist sleep system, rain gear, whatever. And they have Alice webbing on the side, so you can actually add more pouches if you're interested in going in a heavier loadout. Just know that with this thing loaded in full, it's going to be difficult to get in and out of a vehicle. Why would somebody go and choose a kit like this? I like to call this like a medium loadout kit. It's got the ability to float to more of a minimal kit. Think chest rigs, only bare bones equipment, or a pistol belt setup only, to even a heavy loadout kit used in conjunction with a ruck or loaded down assault pack. Most beginners like to start with a pistol belt or Alice kit. The LBV can enhance these setups by better accommodating their 5.56 platform. And it's going to give you the ability to grow. And it's going to be at a fraction of the price of like the Velocity Systems Jungle Rig and other wrecky systems out there, you know? And the additional accoutrements are not going to cost you a fortune that you're going to have to save up or whatever just to buy more pieces. You can buy most of this stuff in a Milsurp store. The other big thing is, like, you go and spend $500 on a rig and God knows how much else buying the add-ons. And are you really going to want to go crawling through the woods and beating the crap out of it? Are you really going to want to do that when you spent that much on the kit? No, that's why 90% of the civilians that buy those kits, they sit in a closet for that one day scenario. You know, they don't truly get out and train in it. Most of the people don't. Now imagine doing that in about $150 all in. You're not going to bat an eyelid at something like that. Something that's probably already been in the most austere environments you could think of. You can get out, sweat all over it, beat it up, get dirt all over it, and after you go home, pull it out, hose it down with a garden hose, hang it up to dry, and it waits for the next time you go and abuse it. Plus, you got that Milsurp drip with it. This is the point I'm trying to drive home with you guys. Buy what you are going to use and abuse, not try to impress other people. If the same can be said about kits and guns for that matter. I could care less about your brands. I don't care if it's Gucci or thrift store. What I care about is what you did to adapt it to meet your needs. So, see what I got going on. We'll do one more. What I'll do is do like a couple runs, one more. I'm going to shoot, mag out, reload, and then try for a headshot. So what we're doing here, I'm going to try for an A zone, reload, and then try to get a headshot. Wind's blowing, so we'll see how this goes. All right, I'm ready. Oh man, that one's out. That one's out. Gotta remember hide over bore. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, so once I figured out hide over bore, these two were a little low. That was just barely in there. Definitely off. I was aiming center, but obviously hide over bore. We got the credit card box there. So awesome deal with that one. Oh. So a final thing for you guys. I want you to understand something with everything's going on. Everybody needs one of these. Everybody needs some sort of fighting rifle. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care about any of that shit, if it's Gucci gear or anything like that. Everybody needs one of those. Everybody needs something to carry their gear. Everybody needs something to carry their gear. Everybody needs some spare mags for their fighting rifle. I'm not even worried about sidearms and pistols and things like that. You should have a handgun to conceal carry if you can in your state and all that hoopla. Yes, that should be your primary daily carry. But you need to understand something. Everybody needs a fighting rifle. Because why? Our government has failed us. We are living in the failure of the United States government. That's the point. Like, make no mistake from it. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. Like, it doesn't matter who is elected, who's coming through. They're not going to save you. The government is going to keep infringing on our rights. So at some point, probably in our lifetime, something is going to happen. So everybody needs one of these to get into the thing. Everybody needs one of these to carry more of these. Is that clear? That's why I'm going over kit like this. For those of you that are maybe novices or don't know where to go or don't want to put a lot of thought in it or don't want to drop $600 on a jungle rig, yeah, that's why I'm going over stuff like this that's easily available and affordable for the average Joe. That's what we're going with. So this is XXL Dude signing off, telling you that resistance to tyranny is obedience to God.